What did you do this time?
Am I pretty enough to be sexually harassed?
Bree! And Bree's in her... Is that Bree interrupting me? It's my title card! Hello, everyone. I am still Mecha Random 42. Wow. That's operator error. The one, the only, the original, your favorite YouTube harpy pushing the wrong buttons today. But, you know, that's okay. At least I'm not pushing the entire world's buttons like Ellen is. Holy crap, what did you do this time? Or is this just a recap of what everybody else is mad at you for from last week? This is from the Daily Beast. People are finally starting to see the real Ellen Degeneres, and it isn't pretty. Ellen! Check your privilege again. I love saying that. I'm bringing it back. Replacing her own crew with non-union workers during the, you know what, the great toilet paper shortage.
I am Cornholio. I need TP for my bunks.
And thank you so much, Divine Rightia, $5 super chat. Well, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. The LA cover girl isn't working, Ellen. That's, you know what, yeah, you do want to moisturize. You do want to make sure you stay hydrated. Don't smoke and stay out of the sun, and you'll get decent. Well, don't smoke anything, you know, harmful. During the toilet paper shortage underscores how the talk show host's cheery TV persona is miles away from who she is behind closed doors. As America's preeminent, you know what, well, we'll just show ya. No, that's fantasy ones. We'll show you more real ones. You know, L in the alphabet. I'm only the B, so I'm not quite as important as the L because and the more fun one who's like, oh sure, let's bring a chicken to bed with. Why not? Ellen has attained a somewhat unlikely arena of ubiquity in mainstream entertainment culture, but in the past year, there's evidence emerging that the tinge of mean-spiritedness that comes through in DeGeneres' interviews and segments on the Ellen DeGeneres Show are consistent with rumored behind-the-scenes demeanor. And now, it's not just give zero F's Dakota Johnson who's coming through with tales of the daytime media queen. It's the workers. Oh, see, now I didn't know about this one. What happened to Dakota Johnson? Now I gotta read that article.
Last Wednesday, we showed you Dakota Johnson talking about co-star Shia LaBeouf's arrest while she was on Ellen. Well,
there's that E.T. Canada. Oh, E.T. Canada. Awesome. We do love Canada here.
Another part of that interview has gone viral where Dakota called out Ellen for not showing up to her birthday party.
How was the party? I wasn't invited.
Actually,
well, you weren't invited because I don't know you very well, and yeah, I don't want you there. Don't invite yourself over.
no, that's not the truth, Ellen. You were invited. Last time I was on the show, last year, you gave me a bunch of about not inviting you, but I didn't even know you wanted to be invited.
Well, who doesn't want to be invited to a party?
Well, I didn't even know you liked me.
If I don't invite people, it's not because I don't like you personally. I know I'm weird and I'm socially awkward, and I'm admitting this. And I know I'm weird enough to admit this. If I don't invite you on the show, it's not because I don't like you or don't want you on my show. It's because I'm weird, I'm socially awkward, and I like having my pop-ups, and I like using my Stream Deck, and I like using OBS, and I don't like using Streamlabs. And yeah, it's a lot easier for me to talk to my chat, and I don't want to like interrupt a guest. So there's a million reasons. It's not anything personal. It's more of I have anxiety. I don't like controlling your show. That's why I don't invite a lot of people. It is absolutely nothing personal, so please don't take it as such.
Of course I like you. You knew I liked you. You've been on the show many times, and don't I show like?
No?
But I did invite you.
Oh wow, they're just laughing at her, not... Oh, see, that got a chuckle out of me, but that's me laughing at her.
You didn't come. So.
This time you invited me?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
How do you know? I don't think so.
Ask everybody.
Wow. Holy crap. See, now I remember this one. Arthur Fleck is my white male rage.
White male rage, white male rage, white male rage.
They're saying wow, wow. Everybody's saying wow in the chat. Greg Kirby's yelling wow. Ellen, just stop. Stop. You just got shut down.
Ask Jonathan, your producer. Who said you were?
I was
he's
invited?
right there.
Why didn't I go?
I don't know.
Why didn't you go? Well, probably because you're too high and mighty. Is she a one of those? Is she a one of those? I don't know. And of course the other one is delayed, as it would be, because sometimes you're a little slow if you're partaking. They laugh. Wow.
Was it? Oh yeah, I had that thing.
I was out of town. Ooh, Ellen, yeah, you just don't care. You don't listen to what other people say, do you?
It was probably in Malibu. That's too far for me to go to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. No, I think I do remember I was invited. Thank you.
You're welcome.
No, but I really didn't remember that until just now.
So maybe don't call her out for it. Oh, wow. I wasn't aware of this one, but keep in mind, I don't really pay attention to a lot of what this, because I was watching Star Trek.
Shut the fuck up.
And we all know what a mess that turned out to be. Remembered. Oh, this lady.
Oh, a mystery. So leave it to Twitter to figure out where Ellen was.
Ooh, where was she?
The party was on Sunday, October 5th in Malibu. It ends up that the next day, the Sunday, Ellen was in Texas.
Yep.
Yep.
This I do remember. I remember when they tried to cancel over this because, as you know, people tend to eat their own, especially when they're all high and mighty about their politics ball and stuff. Yeah, they were pretty upset with her for going and hanging out with W there.
It was that time Ellen was seen sitting beside George W. Bush, which got Ellen a ton of backlash.
Oh yeah, Ellen, you're about one misstep away from just being completely taken off the air, but that's okay. You have about $300 million in the bank. I think you'll be fine. Think you're gonna be just fine. What else does the article have to say? Sorry, it was cropped weird. I'm just using the same capture window. Wow, I didn't know about that one. It's coming through with tales of the daytime media queen. It's the workers. DeGeneres' comedy. Yeah, so it's no longer just Dakota Johnson saying it. But see, Dakota Johnson, as you guys know, is the daughter of Don Johnson and Melanie Griffith. And she starred in the 50 Shades movies. And, you know, she's third generation. How far back does Melanie Griffith's family go? She's the daughter of Tippi Hedren. So she's like third generation Hollywood royalty at this point. Yeah, she can say what she wants and not have to worry about getting canceled in Hollywood. Like, Ellen, you didn't come to my party because you chose to go and hang out in something else. DeGeneres' comedy and sitcom career famously came to a halt in 1997 when she used an episode of her show Ellen to come. No. I was there. I watched it. That is not when the sitcom came to a halt. The sitcom was in trouble for years before. Ellen's sitcom originally started out as a show called These Friends of Mine, which was not very good. And then they changed the format, and it went from whatever job she was doing in that to working at the bookstore, and then to owning the bookstore. They rebooted that show like 3 different times, I want to say, because it went from These Friends of Mine to, I want to say, Ellen to Ellen Degeneres show or something. And then she used the whole coming out as the big publicity stunt because I think they meant it to be as impactful as the kiss between Mariel Hemingway and Roseanne or the kiss on Star Trek. Wooch. Even Laura Dern, who played her love interest in the episode. Oh, yeah. So she came out on her show. They even put her on People magazine, right? Well, I think she came out on the show first, and then it took her a few years to come out on People magazine. Even Laura Dern, who played her love interest in the episode, reportedly couldn't get a job for years afterward. That is not true. Both women have since had comebacks, have catapulted them into stardom and riches, but Ellen has more recently received a kind of countercultural check. Outside of her daytime audience and the celebrities she cavorts with, it appears that a good number of regular people, including several of people who have worked with her and served her in other ways, reportedly find her to be reliably cruel. There have been rumor mills in the comedy and TV worlds about DeGeneres' meanness for years. Last month, a Twitter thread by comedian podcast host Kevin T. Porter brought many out with his first, second, and third-hand stories of DeGeneres' various transgressions, from refusing to make eye contact with interns to getting a waitress fired for having a chipped nail and more. So she's an ultimate Karen.
Drop the taco. Get in the car.
Wow! no, can I speak to your manager? Oh, she's one of those. Maybe that's why she was so unlikable. Maybe that's part of why her sitcoms didn't do very well. And she needed to use the whole, well, I'm going to come out in the show so I can boost some ratings, because the ratings were kind of crap. They did it during Sweeps Week, for one. That's the week when they actually pay attention to the ratings. This is the thing. Back when TV used to air and you have to make an appointment for it, they would do really, really dramatic stuff to get viewership. Almost none of these stories have been shared or confirmed by anyone in the industry, but in 2014, former Ellen head writer Karen Kilgariff, I'm saying your name wrong, I apologize, did share with Mark Marone that she was fired from the show after refusing to cross the picket line during the 2008 writer's strike. DeGeneres has allegedly never spoken to her since. Earlier this year, Ellen Degeneres came under fire for more public-facing actions after photos came out of her laughing it up at a Dallas Cowboys game with former U.S. President George W. Bush. Fans and critics expressed anger that the host would get chummy with the head cheerleader for the Iraq you-know-what and a vehement opponent to gay marriage. I mean, I can understand trying to be friendly with somebody you disagree with on some things. I can understand that. But this just really seemed like it was a publicity thing, right? Revenge of the Nether Realm. Thank you so much for the super chat. Damn, she's actually worse than Brie Larson. Who'da thunk that Ellen is worse than Brie Larson? Well, here you go. This is me putting all my comedy loyalty to people like George Carlin or Bill Hicks or Joe Rogan or Doug Stanhope or, the good comedian. Even your Louis Blacks. I like the angry comedians. I like the angry male comedians with penises because they're funny. Not just the penises, but the men who are saying the things, Those are the funny things. There's really funny women comedians, too, out there. I've certainly laughed from time to time at a few of the women out there. Ellen dismissed the criticism by saying that liberals and conservatives should be able to reach across the aisle to be friends. That I do agree with. Like I said, I don't agree politically with a lot of my viewers, but I don't keep that on my channel because that's not for me to tell anybody who to vote or any of that stuff. That's the issue. I see this. There's a time and a place for it, and my channel is calling out bullshit. That's it. But more recently, it's become clear that Ellen DeGeneres doesn't quite extend the self-styled grace towards those who cannot escape by virtue of being the head of it. The incarcerated, performing a monologue for her multi-million-dollar Beverly Hills home during the ongoing California lockdown, DeGeneres cracked that being self-isolated is like being in jail. It's mostly because I've been wearing the same clothes for 10 days and everyone here is, Once again, viewers were incensed and pointed out the obvious incongruity of the joke. As DeGeneres lounges from her enormous home, filming the show she earns $70 million a year to host, prisoners are being packed in like sardines without protective equipment, as, spreads. And they suffer beatings from some of the guards during trying to seek medical treatment. That's a little bit more political than I get into here, but still, be a little more aware. And this is the same type of stuff that I've been calling out Patton Oswalt for, and a lot of these celebrities for basically going around preaching and telling us what to do and telling us how to be and what to think and what to say. It's like, you know what? You don't have it nearly as bad as other people. Shut your mouth and check your privilege.
Let's go eat some fried fish. Come on, road, I can go.
Greg Kirby says, that kiss is gross because of the spit oozing out. Now, that's kind of hot. The little saliva strand. That's what makes it hotter. But in contrast to her football hangout with Bush, it's always much more informative to understand how powerful people treat the non-powerful people they depend on. The ones who make their isolation possible. And in a timely moment of worker outcry, the latest DeGeneres PR crash has come from her very own crew, which we've talked about already. They've been replaced by a non-union outfit, and they're running tech for DeGeneres at her home from her home broadcast. Crew members spoke anonymously to Variety, and we did a video on that, and I'll link it up here when I do clip this one, about the poor communication and shady side dealing that they've experienced as Ellen has shifted from studio broadcast to a more intimate, lockdown-friendly format. Even though the unionized Ellen crew has the chops to transition to the at-home broadcast, DeGeneres' team made the decision to hire from outside and are even planning to pay cut 60% from the regular crew who have already experienced reduced hours. DeGeneres, who has a reported net worth of $330 million, makes much of performing acts of charitable giving on her show, and recently announced that she and her wife Portia de Rossi will be donating $1 million to, cough related charities. But in contrast to her football hangout with Bush, it's always much more informative to understand how powerful people treat non-powerful people they depend on, the ones who make their isolation possible. In her latest stand-up special, after a long hiatus from the medium, DeGeneres responded to the question of whether she's still relatable enough to be doing stand-up in the first place. What resulted was a kind of meta special with bits about the minor inconveniences of her wealthy lifestyle, some ironic, others she genuinely seemed to believe to make her normal. In fact, the question of relatability is one that her wallet depends on, not only for a stand-up special peppered with strategic profanity, but also during a family-friendly daytime show. The more Ellen can perform a kind of proximity to regular people on her show, the more she can attract their attention. This mask, however, has begun to slip. Ooh, is there more? Is there more? There's no more. I did hear about that, how she was talking a little bit about just the super out of touch stuff, like just rich people problems. And you know what? If you're entertaining your rich celebrity friends, you can tell your rich people problem jokes. But right now, we need people like Ricky Gervais. We need people like Dave Chappelle. We need people like Joe Rogan out there to actually entertain us because they are relatable. Ricky Gervais is very relatable. He didn't become famous until he was 40. He still lives pretty much reasonably, and he still understands that you don't treat people like crap. Get your smug off my screen. Can Prima Donna just retire? Yes. What do you guys think? I know someone who met her and her meanness is confirmed. See, I hope I don't come off as mean. I'm just dumb. That's the thing. I don't remember shit. I can't see, and I'm dumb.
Smoke weed every day.
Most people who shout about how much they respect and care about others are likely to be narcissists who just want the attention, Therapod Hunter says. Yeah. John Maxwell, Joe Rogan's speech. Oh, the message retracted. But yeah, so I'm going to go back to my live stream, and I'm probably going to trim that one down quite a bit as well. Wow, there's a lot to talk about there. Don't you guys go anywhere.